But yeah, welcome in everybody. Hope you're doing well this week. It's been a good week for me in between. I hope it has been for you as well. But welcome to this mindful movement session. As always, during these sessions, just do the best that you can do, however that looks for yourself. And remember, it may look different to how I'm doing it, which is absolutely fine. Just do it to the best of your ability. I will give you some tips and hints along the way as well to help you to do exactly that. But first of all, let's start to relax ourselves down. So get yourself into a nice comfortable position, however that looks for you. If you need to wiggle or shuffle into position, that's fine. And let's do some nice deep breathing, going in through the nose, out through the mouth, and continue that breathing just in through the nose, out through the mouth. And sometime over the next couple of breaths, start to close down those eyes and bring that focus inwards. Just nice, slow, deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just relax down where you are there. Keep that breathing going. And we start as we always do here by first of all thanking ourselves for being here today. We remind ourselves that often turning up is the hardest part, but we're here, which means that we want to make sure we stay focused throughout the session, and also understanding that if our mind wanders during this session, that is absolutely fine. That is a perfectly normal human response. But what we want to do when we find our mind wandering is just to bring it back in line. If you just need to do some breathing to do so, it's a really great way to help focus and bring that intention inwards. So anytime you need to, just stop, bring the focus back to what we're doing at that moment, and then continue on from there. Nice, slow, deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and keep it going there. As you're breathing here as well, let's start to notice how it's impacting our body. Notice how when you breathe in, your chest lifts up, it expands out. And as you breathe out, the shoulders relax down and you sort of almost hunch forwards a little bit as you breathe out. And just go back and forth between the two there still. And just notice how it affects your body, how it affects your posture as you're breathing in and out. Good work. Continue that breathing, but start to sit up nice and tall if you're not already. And let's start to open up the eyes. And as you breathe in now, let's shrug those shoulders up. And as you breathe out, relax them down. Give those shoulders a nice squeeze as you bring them up. And as you breathe out, relax them off. We're essentially pumping the muscle here, sending blood to that area. That's going to send all the oxygen and all the nutrients and everything that that muscle needs to help to relax. Good. Let's continue that idea, but instead of going up and down with our shrugs, let's push the shoulders forwards and then bring them back. As you bring it back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. As you push forwards, push those shoulders forwards in the shoulder joint and link the breathing in there. So breathe in as you pull your shoulders back. Breathe out as you push forwards. Back and forth between the two here. Yeah, now let's just do some shoulder rotations, getting them going round. Nice, easy, gentle circles. You can continue to link your breathing in here as well if you want to, or just have it just nice and controlled in your own way. Let's change direction. Good work. Let's start to open up a little bit more by placing the hands on or around the shoulders and start to get those elbows going around as well. And remember, you can do this double arm like so, or if it's easier for yourself, you can do a single arm and you can always swap between the two, or you can alternate. Just whatever works for you and your balance and your ability to get those arms going around. And remember, the hands don't need to be locked in position. They can glide around as you're doing this. Let's change direction and go the opposite way now. Good. Well, let's open up a little bit more by taking one arm, just going around in a circle. Again, I don't mind what direction you go because we will change it soon enough. And if you can't do this full circle round, remember we can do a bent arm, a shorter range of motion, whatever you need to do here just to get that moving around. Again, you can, even if it looks like this, that's fine. That's what you can do there. Let's change direction with that arm now. And again, doing the best circle you can here. If it doesn't look like this, if it looks like that, that's also fine. Whatever you can do here. Get that arm mobilized to the best of your ability. Let's change over to the other side now, getting that arm going around as well. And change direction. Nice. Well, let's just do some shoulder rotations again. Change direction. And let's move into some stretching here. Now we've loosened up our shoulders a little bit. They're feeling a little bit more free, a little bit more warmed up, which is a perfect time to do some stretches. It's always better to do stretches when you are feeling a little bit warm and mobile in the joint that you'll be stretching. To start with, we're going to do some reaching over to one side. Hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds. And coming over to the other side. Remembering, if you can't bring your arm all the way up and over, even if it's just coming up to sort of eye line or shoulder height or chest height, wherever you can get to with raising that arm up and over, feel free to do that just to the best that you can do. And you can always feel free to hold on to something, whether that's your wheelchair or chair that you're sat in. I've got a little table on one side and a chair on the other side that I can just assist. It just helps me to get over and feel that stretch without having to worry too much about the balance. So if that's something you've got as an option to you, feel free to do that, even if it's holding in front of you as well. May help. Nice. All right, let's move into our next stretch now, which is going to be opening up the chest by bringing those arms out, feeling that stretch across the front, then reaching one arm forwards, bringing it back, just opening up the chest again, and then bringing the other arm forwards. As you bring that arm forwards, continue if you feel like you're fine with that, but as you bring that arm forwards, really try and push that shoulder forwards in that socket there. And that's really going to help to stretch sort of like the back of the armpit area. That's kind of where you'll feel it. And if you want to increase that forward stretch a little bit more, you can come forwards and across the body as well. And you'll feel just a bit of an extra stretch there. That's it. Nice work, everybody. And then let's move into the next stretch here. We're going to have the elbows into the side, and you can rotate out. That's option number one. Come in and out. If that's too easy or you can do that fine, then we can go into the second version, which is bring the arms all the way up and around. Let me show you from the side as well. My elbows are up here, and I'm rotating back, rotating forwards, and going back and forth between the two. You'll feel, especially at this upper point of the exercise, you feel a bit of a stretch deep within that shoulder joint. And that's the same as if you got the elbows down as well. You start to feel it as you come out to the side. And that is stretching our rotator cuff muscles that are located sort of within the shoulder that help rotate it, which is what we're doing now. We're taking it through a full range of motion, stretching those muscles, keeping them nice and supple. And then ease out of it. And let's go into some shoulder rotations again here. Change direction. Good work. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to take our arms, and what I want you to do is to, like when we do our sit skis on our cardio exercises, we're going to bring the hands back, then we're going to bring forwards, and I want you to reach up and stretch up the best that you can, and then bringing it down behind you. And those arms back behind us there, and again reaching up the best that we can. Now, I don't expect you to be able to go all the way up if that's not something you're able to do. So just bring the arms up the best we can. I want you to hold that for maybe 3 to 5 seconds, and then bringing it down. Bring the arms back as far as you can, and then bringing it up again. Now, if you're struggling with the balance there, it may be easier to do this one arm and then switching over to the other side. But what I want you to try and do with this is, as you bring those arms up, try and keep the biceps as close to your ears as you can, which isn't going to be easy, but as close as you can to it. And that's just really going to help to stretch through there as you stretch up there. And again, do not worry if you can't get your arms together or get them close. Like, it's all about just doing the best that you can do here to bring those arms up and overhead. Good work. And if you're doing this to the best of your ability, you definitely will feel as you come up, when you get to sort of here, that extra little bit, you'll feel that stretch. Almost feels like it's stretching the whole of like the armpits area right up and out there, which is exactly where we want to feel. We get a little bit of a stretch as we come down and back as well. Good work. And again, let's do some shoulder rotations just to ease out of that one there. Change direction. And let's go back to a little bit of mobilization in those shoulder joints, especially now they're a little bit more loose here. So we're going to start with this one here. We bring it hands together in a prayer position. We're going to reach up, out, and around. Just nice and simple. Let's just start going up, out, and around. When your hands are together and going up, breathe in. As you bring those arms out and around, breathe out. If you can't bring your arms all the way up and over above your head, just go to where you can. If that's only just above your head or head high or lower, that's fine. Wherever you can get to with raising those hands up in that prayer position, that is great. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can try and keep those elbows together as you bring those arms up. They naturally want to separate as you come up, so just hold them together for as long as you can. Good. Let's change direction now. So we do take the arms right the way out and around, palms together as high as we can, and then bring it down through the middle. Nice. Moves, everybody. Keep those going. Good work. On this one, what we're going to do is similar sort of thing. We're going to keep the hands together in a prayer position, but this time we're going to go forwards and then out round to the side. Let me show you from the side as well. So palms together, reaching forwards, out and around, and back into the middle, like we're swimming breaststroke. If you need to on this as well, feel free to do one arm and then the other. Or if you're only able to do one arm, just doing the one arm's fine. But reaching forwards, out and around to the best of your ability here. Now, if you're able to, and I will struggle to do this, so bear with me while I try and do the demonstration. But as you bring those arms forwards, try and reach forwards a little bit. I'm going to do it one arm because I'm going to struggle to hold up. So you bring it forwards and bring that arm, that head down in line with the arms, and then around. Let me try and do one. So forwards. Ooh. My spasms help me there a bit. Yeah, you can go a little bit further with it if you're able to. If not, if you're like me, you don't have that core ability, you can just continue with the regular one or try and go just a little bit. But as you bring those hands forwards, if you're able to, just bring that head down in line and then bringing it back. Cool. Let's change direction now and go the opposite way. So you go out like you're giving someone a big hug and then bringing it into the middle. You don't need to bring your head down in line with this one. Just bring it out, around, and then bringing it in. Good work, everybody. Let's rest it there for a second. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. I always recommend it doing so regardless for these sessions. Even though we're not necessarily getting our heart rate up, we are still mobilizing and moving, and that requires hydration. And if you don't mind me interrupting, hi Sue, it's good to see you again. Good work. All right, let's move on to our neck mobility in that now. But before we go into that, we're just going to do a little bit of breathing just to reset ourselves. So just do some breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And we'll just do a couple of breaths here just to reset ourselves. And now let's go into some of our neck mobility. Start with our flexion extension, which is looking down, looking up, going back and forth between the two. Just nice, gentle, controlled motions. You guys know the drill by now. With this, it's just easy movements. And I know we always try and get these movements in every session because consistency is what's really going to help us in the long run. And as you may know yourselves, and I definitely know for myself, when I don't do these exercises, I really notice the difference between how my neck feels, how the rest of my spine feels when we go into those exercises as well. And that's why we do it, just maintenance work. Nice work. Keep that going for a little bit longer here, looking up, looking down, nice, gentle, controlled movements. And the next time you find yourself looking down, let's hold that position and just let gravity take over for a bit here. Just nice, relaxed, just let it drop. And see if you could almost curl it over a little bit more. Sometimes when we look down straight away, we just hold that position. But if you just relax and almost let the head curl down even more, bringing that chin to the chest, you might be able to get a little bit extra movement. You may find that your breathing is restricted on this, so feel free to back out if you need to and come back into it. Then ease out of it, doing a couple of looking up and downs. And the next time you find yourself looking up now, let's hold that position. And let's remember here are things that we can do. So first of all, looking up, if that's enough of a stretch for you through the front of the neck, that might be okay. If you want to take it a little bit further, make sure the mouth is closed. Feel a little bit more of a stretch going down the front of the neck. And if you want to take it a little bit further, again, we could take our hand. I'm going to put my left hand here on my sternum and gently pull down. And as I do that, I feel a bit more stretch through the front of the neck there. If you need to reset as well, that's fine. Just first of all, start looking forwards, hand on the sternum, push in slightly tight. And as you look up with the mouth closed, you're going to feel much more of a stretch through the front of the neck. That's good work. Feeling that elongation through the front via the stretch. And then let's ease out of it there. Just doing a couple of looking up and downs. Just going to help us just to ease out of it there. And then we go into the rotation, looking left, looking right, going back and forth between the two here. It's nice and gentle, looking one side, looking the other side, going back and forth between the two. Okay, next time you find yourself looking to the left, let's hold that position there. So look to the left. Also with this one, make sure that your shoulders aren't coming around with it. So your shoulders are square and forwards. And you're rotating that head round to the left. And if you want to take this a little bit further with the stretch, remember we can take, as we're looking to the left, we take our left hand, we place it around about the right collarbone area and gently pull down, much like we were doing on the front with the sternum, but this time on the side, bringing it diagonally downwards towards the right. So that's the left hand on the right collarbone and gently pulling the skin around that area down towards the right armpit. And you'll feel a bit of a stretch sort of between the collarbone and the jaw as you do so. If not, feel free to play around with the hand position. You can always raise your head up a little bit as it's rotated to the side. You may feel a little bit more then. And then ease out of it. Let's do a couple of lefts and rights. And the next time you find yourself looking to the right, let's hold that position there. Now we're looking to the right. If you want to make it even more of a stretch, we can take our right hand onto the left collarbone area and gently put it diagonally downwards, feeling that stretch. And ease out of it. Do a couple of lefts and rights here just as you do that. And then let's go into our lateral flexion. Bringing one ear to one shoulder, one ear to the other shoulder, and go back and forth between the two, nice and gentle and controlled. Nice. Easy, gentle movements, bringing one ear to one shoulder and then to the other. Good work. Next time we find our left ear on our left shoulder, let's hold it there. And that's going to open up the gap between the right ear and the right shoulder. If you want to take it a little bit further, you take your right arm, drop it down towards the floor or behind you. Either one, you're going to feel a little bit more of a stretch on that right side there. Ease out of it. Do a couple of lefts and rights. And the next time you find your right ear on the right shoulder, let's hold that position there. If you want to take a little bit further, drop that left arm down or behind you. And then ease out of it again. Let's do a couple of lefts and rights. And let's move into the rest of our spine now. So we start with our flex and extension. Extend through, flex down, curling down like a prawn or a shrimp, arching back like a high jumper, and go back and forth between the two to the best of your ability. Now, with this one, you may need to start off with small movements. And as you get into it, you can go a little bit further. But as always, with these types of movements, it's not necessarily about how far you can go. It's just about getting the movement in to the best of your ability and getting it moving. That's going to help start gliding it around, start mobilizing it, moving it in the way that it's designed to move. Good. Well, let's go into our rotation next. So rotate round to one side, rotate round to the other side. And again, just keep going back and forth between the two here, nice and controlled. Good work, everybody. Nice, gentle movements. Good stuff. All right, let's go into our lateral flexion now. Reaching down to one side, reaching down to the other side, and back and forth between the two. As always, you don't need to reach all the way over. Just make sure as you reach over, you're not leaning forwards as you do so. Try and make sure you almost keep yourself like you're between two panes of glass and you're shuffling down between the two here. Good work. And then let's come around in a whirlpool. Change direction. Well, let's do some shoulder rotations again. Just coming around. Feel free to give it a bit of a wiggle as you do so. Change direction. Excellent. Well, let's go into a little bit of our yoga movements here. So to do the first one, we come down to the floor. This is our starting position. Then from there, we come up with that flat back, come back down. Second time we come up, we're curling up, stacking those vertebrae on top of each other. Neck finishes the movement, and then that's our end position. So we come right the way down to the beginning again, up with the flat back down, curling up, sitting upright, and then going back down, up with the flat back down, curling up the second time. Feel free to do this in your own pace here, just making sure we're going through a good range of motion, keeping it controlled though. Nice work. Keep that moving, nice and fluid. Okay, on the next one you do, as you come up for that last bit, hands together, reaching up, out, and around, and then back down. Okay, so come up with the flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, around, and down to the beginning again. Keep that going. Nice work. As we bring it up, out, and around now, so you come up, out, pause when your arms are parallel to the floor, rotate to the left, rotate to the right, back to the middle, and back down to the bottom to the starting position. So up with the flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, and pause at parallel, rotate to the left, rotate to the right, and back down. Let's keep that going there. Up with the flat back down, curling up. Palms together, reaching up, out, around, rotate to the left, rotate to the right, and back down to the start again. Let's go for one more on this one. So up with the flat back down, curling up. Palms together, reaching up, out, around, and pause. To the left, to the right, and coming down to the starting position. Okay, this time we're going to add a little bit extra in there. I'll go from the beginning though. So come up the flat back and go back down. curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, around. So we're pausing again at parallel. We go to the left, then we drop the left hand down, the right arm comes up, and then we seesaw back to parallel here. Rotate around to the right side, the right arm comes down, the left arm comes up, and seesaw back up, round to the middle, and down again. We're going to go through that again together. So up with a flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, and around to parallel. Rotate to the left arm drops down, right arm comes up, seesaw back again, rotate around to the right arm comes down, left arm comes up, seesaw back again, rotate around to the middle and down to the bottom. Let's go again. Up with a flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out to parallel. Rotate to the left arm down, right arm up. Seesaw back again, rotate round to the right side, right arm down, left arm comes up, and seesaws back, rotate to the middle, and down to the bottom. Let's do one more time through this one before we add another extra bit in. So up with a flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, around to parallel. Rotate to the left arm drops down, right arm comes up, seesaw back, and then rotate to the right arm down, left arm up, seesaw back again, rotate to the middle, and then down to beginning. So we're going to add a little extra bit in here. But we'll continue from the beginning first of all. So come down and then come up with that flat back down, curling up on this second time. Palms together, reaching up, out, around to parallel. Rotate round to the left arm drops down, right arm comes up. And then as we seesaw back again, the right arm comes onto our lap and the left arm comes up towards the sky. And that gap you created in your armpit, you're going to bring the arm down through that gap, thread the needle, and point over to the other side. Remembering, if you can't do that, you can always come across the front if you can't come right the way up under the armpit. Bring it out, go back to the middle, down to the bottom, and let's go again. And we're going to go on the other side this time. So up with a flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, around. This time we're going to rotate to the right arm drops down, left arm comes up. We seesaw back again, so the left arm comes onto our lap here, right arm points up to the sky, and then the right arm comes down, threads that needle through under our left armpit, and points over to the other side. We ease out of that, and then back down to the starting position. Good work so far, everybody. Don't worry if you can't get the full range of motion. Let's go up with a flat back down. Just do the best we can. This time we curl up, palms together, reaching up, out to parallel. Rotate to the left arm comes down, right arm comes up. Seesaw back again, right arm onto our lap, left arm pointing to the sky. And then we're going to come down, thread that needle through here, pointing to the other side. Coming out, sitting up, and then going down to the starting position again. Coming up the flat back down, curling up. Palms together, reaching up, out, around to parallel. Rotate to the right arm down, left arm up. Left arm comes down onto the lap, right arm goes up towards the sky. And then we want to drop down, thread that needle through the gap you created. And then ease Out of it there. Good. Well, let's just go into some shoulder rotations. Change direction. And give that a little bit of a shake out. Good. If you need a drink before we go into our meditation or mindfulness work, feel free to do so. I will be doing the same. Alrighty then. On this mindful movement session today, we're going to be doing one of our sensory walks, rolls, or whatever you like to call it. We are going to start by doing some nice deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. So just do that to start with. Get yourself comfortable if you need to. You don't need to have great posture for this part. Just make sure you're just nice and relaxed, breathing well as we start to bring that focus inwards. If you haven't already, let's close down those eyes. And now let's start to open our mind's eye on our forest scene that we like here. So remembering with these imaginary things that we're doing here, we're just trying to build a picture within our mind. Today we're going to be doing a forest. And first of all I want you to do is to open up those visuals. And they can be really basic to begin with. They can be made up of somewhere you're aware of, somewhere you're familiar with, somewhere you've seen online, somewhere completely fantasy within your own mind as well. However you want to imagine it, this is your scene. But as you do this, trying to fill that scene out as much as you can, with as much detail as you can with the vision. So in our forest, if you've got trees with leaves, just start to imagine all those textures, the colors, the way the light bounces off things, reflects and refracts, and just start to get a picture in your mind of how this forest scene looks and get as much detail as you can. Notice the difference between the plants and the earth and the sky and whatever else there may be there. Just start to build it up as vivid as you can. And even if it means just focusing on one small bit at a time and then bringing itself back out in and out of these different parts of your scene, that's okay. Just start to build up the best you can. Use that sight to really make this as visual as you can. And as we start to build that scene up more and more visual within our mind, try and hold it there in terms of keeping what your vision is there, even if it's just the idea of the vision rather than the actual vision itself. Just try and get that thoughts, feelings in place there the best you can. But as you do so, let's start to try and get some audio in here as well. So open up your ears, the mind's ears as such, and start to imagine what this sounds like, whether there's wind rushing through the trees, whether there's a chirping of birds, whether there's a chatter of people or a crunching underfoot on leaves, whatever it may be, just start to build that within your scene here. Let's start to imagine also as we're bringing that sound in, let's bring in some temperature as well. Imagine what it feels like. Is it warm? Is it cool? Do you need a jacket? Are you okay in shorts? Whatever it may be, just start to imagine how that feels. Obviously, if it's a tropical forest, you're more likely to be a bit warm. If it's deciduous trees, you may be feeling a little bit cooler. Whatever it may be, just start to picture within your mind how this feels. Temperature, whilst keeping the vision, whilst keeping the audio. And also let's bring in one final one here, which is going to be our touch today. So imagine you're touching a part of the scene, whether that's the tree bark, whether that's the leaves, the feet underground, whatever it may be. Just start to imagine how that feels. I always like to picture myself rubbing a leaf in between my fingers and knowing how that feels and translating into my scene. All of this is helping me to relax in the moment, and hopefully for you too, bringing that blood pressure down, bringing that everything, all the calmness over yourself, just to help us relax. When you're ready to, let's start to close down the scene within our mind, but keep the eyes closed as well as you're doing so. And let's start to think about how thankful we are for being here today, for doing these sessions together, and reminding ourselves that being here is really good for our physical and our mental well-being. So give yourself a thanks, pat on the back, or however you want to thank yourself. As you start to open up your eyes, bring yourself back to the room as we bring today's session to a close. Well done, everybody. Thanks again for joining me here today.